Hello, my name is Nate. Welcome to my art channel. I apologize about the awkward camera angle. You're mostly just getting my torso here, but I'm pouring on a couple of glass vases today, and I really wanted you to be able to see both what happens on top and the mesmerizing part that happens on the sides, the beautiful way it stretches out. So I can get down here and give you a little wave. I'm pouring on a pair of vases today, and I'm going for a stained glass look. And the way that I do that is by using DecoArt Satin Enamels and my pouring medium and water, and that's it. No other paints involved, just DecoArt Satin Enamels, my pouring medium and water to get to a consistency that leaves absolutely no mound at all when it drizzles off of the stick. There's no texture to this when I stir it, and it leaves no trace whatsoever, and it is very, very fluid. I'm gonna be going monochrome today, and on one vase, I'm going to use a tube paint. This is Amsterdam greenish blue, and on this vase, I'm going to use this little Piggy sapphire. This is a dry pigment that you mix into a paint, but they will react very differently because this is metallic and because it's a dry pigment. When it's mixed in, it does leave a very different effect. And in fact, I kind of prefer it, but it's a little more difficult to work with. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So these two paints, this is very, very fluid. These two paints do leave a little bit of a mound. So they are a thicker consistency than the other paints, or the white paint, the pearl mix, I call it. So it does leave a slight little mound, and then it disappears fairly quickly. Both of these are that same consistency. Okay, a couple of tips when you're painting on glass. Always clean it off with some isopropyl alcohol and a cloth. Or like a paper towel or something like that. You want to remove all of the oils that from your fingertips on there, plus any residue left over from when it was in the store or in shipment. Sometimes there were price tags on it, and that alcohol will get rid of the glue that held the price tag in place. You want a very clean, smooth surface to work on. You also want a very level surface as well. So if this were to be leaning this way, it will change the way the paint flows and stretches over the glass. And I want a nice even look here. So I have used a level to make sure that this is level front and back, or as level as it can be. It's never going to be perfect, but the closer I can get, the better it will be. Also, if you're doing more than one at a time, I always make sure that my scraping tool fits in between the two cups, the two bases, so that I can save and rescue all of this paint. It will have a little bit of a bluish tint to it, but I can scrape this up and use it again on another vase or in another pour. So, I think, am I ready to get started? I think I'm ready to get started. Okay, I'm going to do the greenish blue first, and I'm going to pour right on the top here. These vases are a little bit concave. See how it holds all that paint? It's a little bit concave, so I have to keep that in mind. Different vases will have different structures. Some of them are completely flat. Most of them have a little bit of a concave to them. Some of them even have a little lip. So I'm going to use my finger and just help this along. Fluid paints move easier over top of a wet surface, so it will continue to stretch down and cover wherever I'm using my finger at the moment. Hard to get around to see the other side without touching it. And it's always a good idea to have a paper towel handy. I don't paint with gloves. Okay, so there's still a lot of paint right here, so I'm going to help it out by blowing it out. one of the tricks also here is to get full coverage, and you don't need a lot or even want a lot of paint. This satin enamel has a hydrophobic effect with the tube paints and the pigment paint. So it will push its way through the other paint, and the thicker the layer on the glass, the more of that reaction you'll get. And you could risk losing most of your color because it all stretches out and down. So I'm just watching one little spot right here. As soon as I'm sure that that's covered, I can go ahead and put on my other paint. Just let that stretch down a little more. Okay. So I'm gonna make a nice big puddle of this here in the center, and then we'll blow it out. Oh yeah, that's gonna be beautiful. Okay, so while that one's stretching down, I'm gonna divide your attention here and do the second one at the same time. And I'm just gonna fill up from the center, let it flow out. I have a second cup because I'll probably need it. Just give it a good stir real quick. Make sure it's the same consistency. There we go.
I'm gonna let the sun shine in today. I'm trying to make this darkness go away. I'll paint with colors and I'll sing until my lungs give out. I'm gonna let the sun shine in today. And I will leave my windows open so that I can hear the sound of people talking and the wind blowing in the trees. Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Oh, and I'll try to spread my wings so I can fly. Oh, and the darkness starts to fade. Feels like things are gonna go my way. I'm gonna let the sun shine in the day. I'm gonna let the past be filled with smoke. And I will try to fix what has been broken. And take this weight off my shoulders, 'cause I know yesterday ain't coming back. I'm gonna let the past stay in the cold. I will listen to the ocean, let its unsaid words be spoken. And I'll let my mind be carried by the waves. Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Oh, and I'll try to spread my wings so I can fly. Oh, and the darkness starts to fade. Feels like things are gonna go my way. I'm gonna let the sun shine in the day. Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Oh, and I'll try to spread my wings so I can fly.
been about 20 minutes that I've let it set and do its thing, and I am so happy with how this turned out. It will continue to shift and move a bit, but it should maintain mostly this structure. That's the one with the tube paint, and then this is the one with the pigment. And I think you can see between the two, the one on the left has a much more frosted look. It's very soft. One of the tips that I would like to give you for this kind of technique is that strong contrast is really important. Do you see how much it blends out? If you use a light color, it'll blend so much that you won't even see it. So a strong contrast. This was sapphire, the darkest blue that I could find. And look how soft it is with that satin enamel. So pretty. But this more vibrant tube paint, the greenish blue, is also stunning. But there's also a lot of blending in there. But I love how the white stays some negative space, and the satin enamels, when they're a super thin consistency like that, and then you stretch them really thin, it gets very granular, and that's what's giving it that frosted look. I think it's super cool. So I will bring you in and show you these when they're dry. And here are the dry results. I love these. They're so pretty. Look at that texture. Even though it's completely smooth, it is very soft looking. I love them. I love them both, but I think I like the one with the TLP better just because it's so soft. But this one's really gorgeous too. I love it. And I left the lamp on there so you can see that they're kind of semi-transparent. You can see the light shining through them. So I bet, I don't have a candle of the right size, but I bet these would look amazing as candle holders too. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you give it a try. And don't forget to give me a subscribe if you'd like to see more. Give me a thumbs up on the video, and go mix up some paints and be fearless.